Hello, that'll be your house. Yay.
Exciting.
Very nice, I like it. Okay, first thing I've got is just Joe homeowner decided he wanted to put another outlet near his workbench out in the garage, and he ran the wire on the wall, or the Romex wire, and code just says you can't have any Romex wire on the garage wall below 8 feet off the floor. As soon as it gets above 8 feet, they don't care. They can be out all they want. So it really probably should have been ran in some kind of a conduit, or maybe that flex silver kind of conduit. Anything like that would work. It just should have been in something so you can't touch it. Next, this is the sprinkler main shutoff valve out in the front yard. And you can see this little nut right there is actually leaking a little bit. Lots of times, I'm hoping it's not this big one here, you can take a crescent wrench to that nut, snug it a little bit, and it stops.
Okay.
It's just somebody's turned this handle back and forth so many times that it loosened it. So it's starting to leak a little. Same identical issue, but this one may be a little bit more harder to do. This is the main water shutoff to the entire house out in the front yard as it enters right up against the foundation. The leak is right here at the top of the valve where it actually is soldered into the T above it for the copper. So that one is not just, let's tighten the nut up, it's actually soldered in, and maybe the solder didn't quite take. So
Is it very expensive to replace a valve like that?
Usually plumbers, by the time they fix it and their trip charge to come out, could be about 150 bucks.
Oh, okay.
Now, we're not taking massive money, but anyway, for them to take that apart and resolder it, basically is what they're going to charge.
Fair enough.
And nickel and dime, I've got one of these vent screens underneath the eave over here on the front of the house.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just kind of got pushed in a little bit, shoved in, so it's enough that, you know, bees, anything could get in there, and I don't want anything making their nests up there, so anyway, that should be pulled back out or replaced. This is the hose bib in the backyard corner, over here in the southwest corner, and that nut right there needs to be tightened up. It's pretty loose, matter of fact, but I think if somebody put a crescent wrench on that nut below the handle, it'll stop leaking.
Wonderful.
Yeah, all these things you can do on a Saturday. Okay, this is the starting of all my sprinkler pictures. There is quite a bit both in the front yard and in the backyard where the sprinklers definitely need to be repaired. A lot of pipes are broken, heads are completely missing, the heads have been broken off, they're damaged, they're spraying the house. I mean, it just goes on and on. Okay. So there's a lot of sprinkler repairs front and back. This is actually in the backyard, over near the back fence. When the sprinkler was on, water's gushing out of behind the mow strip. There's actually a broken pipe underground. Yeah, there's no head back there, but it's just gushing up around back here. So
would they normally fix something like that?
We can ask them.
Okay.
yeah, okay. Anyway, not too big a deal. So anyway, oh, this is the sprinkler in the front yard where your front door is.
Oh, okay.
It's just spraying the house all the way up here, 3 feet up on the wall.
Oh, nice.
Maybe you'll make the house grow. You know, you'll get it up to
What's that? Is it wood outside there?
Yeah, it is wood at that
So
point.
it should
Not
dry
stucco.
right. They just probably did that themselves, huh?
Yeah. So that just needs to be turned, obviously.
That's a big leak.
This is in the front yard where the 4 sprinkler valves are in the front yard. Actually, the front door is right here. You take a couple steps down. Again, I've got another pipe. Actually, this one is inside of this bark. When I turned this on, all of the bark started raising up.
Oh, goodness.
So the pipe is broken in the ground there also. This is out in the middle of the lawn. Also have another broken head out there. It's just gushing the water up. That's my favorite right there.
That's a good picture.
Anyway, had to take it. You know, I mean, someone's getting the house wet. Anyway, this guy's shooting about 8 feet in the air.
Okay.
Gotta have fun ones every once in a while. Okay, this is the out in the pool where you got your leaf basket that you always take out and clean out every few days. Anyway, right now the water level is all the way up to here at the top of that. Normally, at this lip right here, your water level should be about 2 inches below that. And it's way up here, and it just causes better suction and everything for the pumps. There's one issue. There is no drain valve on the pool. Normally, out at the equipment, you'll have just a regular old hose bib. That you can take a hose, put it on it, turn the pump motor on, you open that hose bib up, and you could run the hose out to the front yard or to the street, and it would actually, in about an hour and a half, would drain the pool down a couple of inches. They never installed it. So there's no way to drain that pool.
So when it rains, it just fills right up and
It just keeps
overflow?
filling.
Where's the water going to go if it overrains?
Yeah, that's my issue. You should never have water ever up to the top of the tile. That's what's called the weep screed. You never want water to get up there, or it loosens up the.
It's too high right now
tiles.
the way it is, because it's over the tile right now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a lot higher than it was there too, than we went looking at it first.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I mean, yes, some guys have the little.
You could put a valve.
pump or something.
You could cut a piece of pipe and put a valve in there.
Yes, a little difficult on a couple of those where you would normally put it, only because those pipes that are black on the right are copper. They're not plastic.
They painted it.
They're hard copper that they painted black. So that will obviously, be a little bit of work to try to get a valve in there in line. But I think they could do it. But that really should be done. Otherwise, you'll never be able to really lower the level of the pool. Yeah. So next, this is your timer box where you set the two little guys inside that round timer to come on and go off when you want it to. Inside right here, there's a little tab there and a tab over here, which didn't come out in the picture very good. There's a piece of plastic that goes over those wire connections just so a child or somebody couldn't open that up and go and get hit, because that's actually 220 volts.
Cover over that.
So it's just a little plastic cover.
Yeah.
They used to not sell the plastic cover, but now you can go to Leslie's and buy it. It's $2. Yeah, you used to have to buy the whole timer box to get the plastic. Now you can buy it separate now. So not a problem. Next, you've got a diatomaceous earth filter, which is almost kind of like a sand material in there, as opposed to the cartridges that you take a cartridge out and you use a spray wand on a hose and you clean it. This is actually sand. So after so many years, you literally have to take all the sand out and put all brand new in.
Yeah, I'm thinking
a little
about
bit of hard work to keep those clean.
heater and a new pump in there anyway.
So anyway, but this is what it's leaking right here at this valve assembly area right there where it's going on to it. So that just needs to be cleaned up a bit. Over on the south side of the house, this is your Freon line going out to the air conditioner. They just cut a big old hole out of the vent screen to run it out there and never took the time to cut this and put it back there. Right now, I'm in a cat. Almost a cat can get in there. It's good size, big enough that it really needs to be refilled back in with some screen material, obviously. Next, this is under the house. I had the pleasure of crawling underneath the whole house. And this would be the bathtub drain right here. You can see the water dripping right here. This nut right here probably will have to be taken off, dope the threads up with a little compound, and re-put the nut back on. That's all it is. Real simple. No glue joints, no issues with necessarily a crack or anything. It's just one nut that needs to be tightened back up again. All right. This is over on the south side of the house. This is the crawl space hole where the screen goes on. Unfortunately, the whole thing is loose. This outside cover right here, you can take it off. It's not the right one for that hole.
Oh, gotcha.
So somebody needs to put it in or put it back together correctly so it's not just loose. Or make a new one, exactly. Yep. Okay, this is the outlet and a splice joint right above our microwave right here. And they just need to have a regular cover plate, and this needs to have a cover put on it, just so that basically nobody can ever get to them. We can see the wires.
I saw it the other night. I tried to turn the microwave on, but I couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
So anyway, those just
Microwave doesn't work?
Now it does.
It works now.
Plugged in, but I couldn't.
It wasn't plugged in. I had to plug it in and get it going. Yeah. So anyway, just two cover. This one's a big blank cover plate, and this one's just your regular cover plate like this. Not a big deal. Okay, this would be the master bathroom toilet, and on the left side, right where the tank connects onto the bowl, you have your two bolts that go down. The left bolt, you can see this is water actually on the side of the threads. You can see it running down here. You can see how wet it is up there. Probably, inside the tank, there's a rubber gasket over it. It's just not tight. Yeah. So, luckily, down on the floor, no damage yet. Okay. It's okay. So somebody just needs to kind of get on it pretty quick here before it does damage the floor. But right now, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, that's all the pictures. Let me just hop into the report and make sure.
Those pictures in the same order, so if somebody's watching this thing, they can follow the order.
You betcha. Okay. Right in the right order. Outside around the grounds, you're not going to believe this. I have absolutely not one fence post that's loose. They've repaired every fence post on the property. They're all perfect. Now, I can't even get 2 inches of movement out of them. They're so tight. Usually they've always got dry rotted type fence posts, but these are great. Exterior walls, I didn't see any other dry rot or anything in the trim. Wood siding. Stucco was in great shape. A couple little small hairline cracks, but that's normal with stucco. The chimney, the brick chimney was fantastic. Spark screens on, the mortar cap on the top, no cracking in it or anything. It's real clean, which surprised me. Here's our sprinklers with all this red. It's front yard and backyard and valves, everything. Now the one thing that is not installed yet, they do have some valves in the backyard, valves in the front yard. However, there's no timer yet.
I know, that's what I went looking for the other day. I'm like,
It
how
looks
do
like
I
they ran
turn
some
it on?
wires for it. There's a wire out there for it, but there's no timer in the garage or on the exterior of the house. So
and I wasn't.
That'll
doing
have to be
anything.
put in.
Okay, yeah,
And the valves are made for a timer, so it'll just, yeah.
okay.
Unfortunately, they can be $75 for a decent timer, so.
Okay. No, it's not. It's
And I think, yeah, well, I have to double check. I think you've got more than 6 valves, so you may have to get more like an 8-station timer, not just
Okay.
a 6-station. You have to
Can you
turn
get
it
it
up.
separated from the front and the back?
You could,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's see, the hose faucet we talked about leaking in the backyard. Gutters and downspouts looked great. Now, the downspouts are not tied into any kind of underground pipes that would take the water away from the foundation and out to the front yard or something. It just comes down the downspouts and pours outside. However, I got no issues under the house with any kind of wetness or where the water's going under the house, but not that we've had much rain either, but anyway, but I don't see any issues with it, but it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Underneath the house, a little tough to crawl this house. The reason why is they ran all the heating and air conditioning ducts under the home. And the whole entire crawl space are ducts everywhere down there. You can't get anywhere hardly. It's very, very difficult. So hopefully not have to go down there ever too often. The one thing I mentioned is about that hole in the south foundation screen where the air conditioner freon line went through it. And that sub-area access door on the south side of the house over there just needs to be rebuilt or repaired anyway. The roof, A+, absolutely perfect. I didn't have any issues whatsoever with the flashing, the sheet metal, the roof jacks, the rubber boots, everything on it was perfect. Let's see here. Water and plumbing, I got 57 pounds of water pressure. Leaking noted at the main water shutoff valve that needs to be repaired, and that's really probably going to take a plumber. That's a little more difficult to fix. Not to mention also that leak at the sprinkler main valve. And let's see here. Oh, good thing. With the age of this house, I half expected to get underneath the home and see the old galvanized water lines. This is all copper.
Oh, nice. So
They redid the whole thing?
I'm almost thinking it's original. I mean, looking at it, it does not look new. It looks like it's 50 years old. It's old copper. It's all tarnished and everything.
Wow.
I think they may have done it originally. This plumber was way ahead of himself, but love it. So anyway, so you don't have that old galvanized that starts getting packed with gunk inside, and pretty soon all your water pressure goes.
Okay.
Your showers are just
that's
barely
not how
coming
it is.
out.
Okay.
Waste lines are all great except for just that one leak that I've got underneath the hall bathtub.
Yeah.
Gas meter was good on the south side of the house. The water heater's a brand new 38-gallon water heater in here. They strapped it correctly. They put the expansion tank on correctly. They did the gas pipe leg, everything on it.
Okay.
And it kind of makes me think we probably had a professional plumber do it. Just most of the time, Joe homeowners don't know what they need to do.
Okay.
But this one's great. No issues with that at all.
Okay.
And it's dry, no leaks. In the hall closet is your furnace.
Yeah, I saw
It is 132,000 BTUs. Good grief, that thing's going to cook you out of here. That is way larger than what needed to be for this house. But anyway, 100,000, 90,000 would have been fine, but 132 is huge.
Okay.
So really, it just means it won't be on for very long, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Nothing on the furnace. It's on the newer side. It is not original. It does have a few years on it. It's maybe got about 12 to 15 years on it.
How long do they normally?
25 to 30 years. Yeah, before they start nickel and diming you with little parts or whatever. But nothing on the ducting. Up in the attic looked fantastic. Under the house looks fantastic. So I've got no issues with the ducts. Good airflow. The filter, just so you know, is in the bottom of the furnace. When you open that closet door up, there's like a door on the top. You slide up, it takes off. Then the bottom door slides up, it comes off, and that's where the filter slides in.
Oh, okay.
It's not like in the ceiling
Not
in
in
the
the
hallway,
big
which
hall.
I know a lot of houses have up there.
Yeah.
Air conditioner, it's a little bit too cold for me outside to run it for a very long time, but I can turn it on for like 3-4 minutes, no problem. Go out, listen to the motor, listen to the bearings on the motor, make sure it's not screaming. Quiet as can be. Very smooth, really nice. Came back in, and I had to run it for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. When I came back in, I checked the air temperature just for kicks, just to see whether or not it was even starting to get cold. It was already really cold.
Oh, nice.
So I don't see any problems with that. It's just when it's below 65 outside, you're really not supposed to run an air conditioner for very long. You can fry it. Okay, the electrical panel. 200 amp panel. They replaced the
200
electrical.
amp?
Yeah, they pulled the old 100 out and put a brand new 200 amp electrical in.
What's
I have
it big?
no idea why. There's enough room in that panel. You could run the neighbor next door.
No thanks. I'm not
I'm
gonna pay for
serious
it.
when I would do it here. Anyway, it is huge with a lot of room. So I don't know if you wanted to add a 50 amp big 220 circuit for a spa, you could do it. Like above ground spas
Yeah,
or
I'm
whatever.
actually thinking about it.
Plenty of room in that electrical panel now to do it. Yeah. It was wired flawless. It was done by an electrician. There's no way. Every wire comes up, bends perfect on each one of the breakers. I mean, it looks like an artist did it.
Nice.
Somebody had way too much time on their hands. Wiring notes inside the house. The only thing I've got is above the microwave where those cover plates need to be put on.
Yeah.
Every outlet in the house is wired properly. They're all grounded properly. Nothing wired backwards. The three-way light switching is actually wired correctly, which I usually always, when somebody's doing a flip,
Yeah, I was
fixing
gonna
the
get one of
house.
the plugs, but I didn't
Yeah.
have time today to go over.
Usually I always end up finding something that Joe homeowner does on electrical. This place is great. I don't have the weird splices and everything hanging out up in the attic or under the house.
This is all on one trip valve too, trip thing?
No. This is a separate circuit on this side with these two GFIs here, and then we have the other GFI down there that
Those
I
are
think
two
was
separate
all this. We have two separate circuits. This is your other one here, yeah. So that's it, just that cover plate above the microwave. Okay, here's some interior nickel and dime stuff. Just so you know, these sliding, or the sliding glass door in the master, and these two French doors here that open up, there's quite a few of those little 12-inch by 12-inch dual pane glass squares that are fogged.
Okay.
You know, they
That's an
get the
older one?
moisture. Yeah, it is.
That's the only older window in the house.
All the, those are
All
the
the
older
other
ones.
windows that were, you know.
The rest of the new vinyl windows in the house were flawless. I don't have any fogged windows, and they all open and close beautifully. It's just you'll see during the daytime, like when the sun was starting to come down over there, it looks like somebody, like at Christmas time, how they frost the edges of the windows. That's exactly what it looks like.
Is there a way of fixing that, or?
They actually have to pop the glass out and put brand new dual pane glass
Okay.
in. So, and that gets kind of costly.
Yeah.
Those have to be tempered. I think it's kind of good. I mean, you could spend $75 to $100 a piece for each one of those squares.
Okay, so I'm not
So
working.
you mean,
Okay.
I mean,
Better get in your door.
it really
Yeah.
is. In the long run, it would be better just to wait until it gets so bad that you just order two new doors. Yeah.
Okay. Just good to know.
Screen is missing on the master sliding glass door. I don't know where it's at, anyway. Interior walls, ceilings, floors, everything looked fantastic. Of course, it's all newly painted everywhere. The only thing I do have is on the chimney on the fireplace, looking up inside of it. There's a lot of soot up inside, and it's definitely due for the regular old $100 cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see any major damage to any of the interior bricks, mortar, or major cracks in the firebox at all. Ceiling fans were all working perfect, none of them were wobbling. And the smoke detectors were in the bedrooms also, besides the hall. Carbon monoxide tester is installed.
Yeah,
They did
saw
get
it on
that,
the
I think,
side
goodness.
there,
And our laundry room. The only thing I'm just going to call is where the dryer vent goes through the wall to the outside. You know how you have that little shed roof on the outside vent cover? There's a little flap inside that opens and closes to keep like a mouse from coming into your
it's
dryer.
not closing.
No, it's popped up and it's so jammed in there you can't. It won't close back down again.
Okay.
Needs to be probably cleaned out. Also, there's only 220 electric in there for the dryer. There's no gas. However, right on the other side of the door is gas for the water heater. So you could actually go into the house and up if you ever decided you wanted to do that for a gas dryer,
Okay.
which are really nice to have, but anyway. Okay, and attic, we already talked about that east eave screen. It kind of got pushed in a little bit, no eaves coming into the attic. Out in the garage, beautiful. The only thing I can add to this is there a couple little common cracks maybe on the floor, but that's it. No major cracks or anything in the garage floor. No major holes in the firewall. Yeah. Side garage door coming inside the house, everything, actually nothing rubs on the jamb, no problems with any of that. Garage door opener, safety features, the auto reverse is all working correctly. Do have that exposed Romex wire on the one wall over there that they added the outlet. Also, just so you know, that same brown outlet that I showed you that has the wire coming down to it, that's the only outlet in the garage that for some reason is not grounded.
Oh, okay.
All the other outlets all the way around in there are grounded.
Okay, that one's not.
That one's not. I don't know why they didn't hook it up right. And the other thing I'm going to mention, it is a code, and it's up to you if you really care. The added outlets in the garage after 1975, and these were done later, is they're supposed to be on one of these kind of GFCIs with the trip and reset button after 75, and they didn't do it. They added a bunch of outlets in the garage for the workbench. So it's up to you if you wanted to, you could add that. Kitchen. Beautiful granite, garbage disposal, range, oven, bake, broil, the microwave, everything. Even the dishwasher, all three wash arms are turning correctly in the dishwasher. I hand touch everything underneath the sink. No leaks into the sink or at the discharge hose. And they did put water in for the ice maker. So, anyway, very, very good.
Is this new?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
This is new too?
That's new. I had to take papers out of that
They're in the drawer
dishwasher.
over there to the right.
So
Yeah.
everything's new,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
new appliances.
The dishwasher
So-
or garbage disposal?
Yeah. Mhm. Yep. The only thing I would say, I don't know if you are thinking about doing one of those 1-year home warranties.
Yeah, she gets it.
Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. I was going to ask you
You
about
may
it.
want to
You
keep
get
it up.
that. We will give it to you.
These appliances are not the really top end
No, I
appliances.
just said that. Okay.
And matter of fact, unfortunately, like this dishwasher didn't get really great high ratings from Consumer Affairs.
Okay.
They basically gave the life between 13 and 15 months on that model.
Oh, wow.
So it might be worth keeping the home warranty up for some of that stuff. But then again, it could last you 10 years and never have an issue. So.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last thing is the bathrooms. That one toilet tank bolt is leaking in that master bathroom. The sinks were perfect, no leaks at all underneath the sinks. Bathtubs, great. The only thing I've got is the bathtub valve.
Oh, yeah. Those
It
are neat then.
pulls out and turns right or left. You have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back to try to get it to come out. It doesn't slide anymore.
Oh, I thought you meant the one under the bottom.
Well, that too, but that's back on my plumbing page.
Okay.
This is actually the valve that you would turn the water on with to take a shower or bathtub. And when you try to pull it out, it doesn't slide.
Oh,
It's
okay.
jammed in there. So probably all the guts have to be rebuilt with the rubber O-rings that go on it, and probably they're hard as a rock. All the rubber in there's probably
Is that
really hard.
original?
I think it is, and they put a whole new handle on it to make it look pretty. But I think the valve is original, so that'll have to be replaced inside the guts. Not all of it, just the rubber parts inside of it, which you can do. They make a rebuild for it. Oh, and just so you know, there's no enclosure on the hall bathtub shower, like
Yeah.
a shower curtain or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
Oh, another nice thing is I had no backwards plumbing. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right. So they didn't switch the plumbing at all on us. And the last thing is just the pool and spa. I do have that leak at the diatomaceous earth cleanout valve, that black valve that you have to turn. Pumps, working fantastic. This pump, circulation pump was put in prior to the code that came out that says you're supposed to have a bonding wire on it, which they just drive a bar into like a rebar kind of a thing, into the ground, and they connect a wire
Yeah,
to that,
wires,
which, bonds it, and that has never been done.
To tell her why. And why they do that.
So that you don't get fried in the pool if your neighbor gets a surge of his electrical to his house.
So let electricity go through the ground. If you're in the pool, something happens. That's why they do it.
I've never seen a pool built. They do the whole pool with rebar first,
Yeah.
pour gunite over it, and then plaster. Well, if your neighbor gets a surge, it goes down into what's called the Euphra ground. It goes into the earth. That surge of 220 volts goes through the earth, and I'll guarantee you it's going to go right to that pool, and everybody in the pool gets lit up.
Okay.
Well, if the rebar's down inside of there, it'll hit
It'll
that,
go
and it
down.
ends up blowing up the equipment and not everybody in the pool. So it's a good idea to have it done. But anyway, yeah, okay. And let's see, the electrical at the pool. Just that little plastic cover in the timer box should be put in there. The other thing that to me is kind of a safety issue, if you're going to go swimming at night, or if there's kids that go swimming at night, and you have like a light on in the pool, normally, after about 1975, they did decide to put in the GFCIs for that pool light. So in case the water gets past the lens and it hits the light bulb, it doesn't light everybody up in the pool. So the GFI trips immediately and nobody gets a tingle. There is no GFCI on that light. But that light is so old, it was before that code came out. So over there on the wall, you have those two switches. That bottom two switches of those, the right-hand switch at the bottom two, that right one turns on the pool light outside. They actually make that switch with a built-in GFCI. So you could actually test it.
Right here?
Yeah, the one on the right. No, on the bottom.
Bottom right.
Yep, that right one right there, that turns on the pool light.
Yep. Just turn it on.
So you could actually change that switch out with the built-in GFCI in the switch in that same hole.
Okay.
And now you've got the whole pool light completely covered.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're not bad, they're like $20. They're not real expensive, thank goodness. And last here, the water level, of course, is way too high in the pool. It's got to get drained somehow, unless you want to put a hose out there and run a hose out to the front and sort of suction and get it going. I don't think I want to do that, but anyway.
They do it. I mean, you get a little tool to do that. Too.
Anything, yeah, any little pump will work great.
You just get it going, and once it starts, it goes because
Yeah.
it goes downhill type thing.
So we just need to get a drain valve installed back there. And right now that sweep is not connected. There is no hole or anything for the sweep and that hose. You see the
So it's
sweep
just
up
sitting there?
It's just laying there.
Thinking that we
Yeah. Now, granted, some of the guys come, set up a thing, and they'll manually do it with a pump motor. I don't see, now there's another way that a lot of times they take the leaf basket out and they plug
stuff
it
it
into
in
the
there,
hole
yeah.
down inside the leaf basket, but now there's no suction for the rest of the pool water. It only gets it from the sweep, which is not the best way to ever do it. So something may need to be looked into and talk to a pool company about how to retrofit something that will work so that sweep will run around okay and pick up all the leaves and all the silt off the bottom of the pool.
I had a pool, I remember having a pool like that, take the basket out, but does it have one or two baskets?
One.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
I know. If there's two, it'd be great. They could use
Yeah.
one of them, and yeah, but they don't. They only have a single basket. They'll take that completely up if they did that.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Did you test the oranges? Were they
I
passed?
did. Matter of
They
fact, I did. Yeah, but that one's too new. Over here, there's a tree hanging over the fence.
Uh-huh.
They're like this
Yeah.
big around, dark orange, really sweet.
Yeah.
You'll
And
love
I,
those.
remember
So
all
good.
those.
And they have to take care of them. You have